You've prayed that very same prayer for 10 long years now, word for word. God, take this away. And it's still here. And here's the honest truth nobody really wants to hand you. It was never, not even once, about your discipline. You are about to see why the most disciplined men you know still go home empty every night and what actually fixes it. This isn't just theory. This is the real difference between managing your life and actually being transformed. Here's the belief that's been quietly running your whole approach to becoming a stronger man. Discipline is the answer. Wake up earlier, grind harder, say no more. That belief isn't wrong. It's incomplete. And incomplete beliefs cost men everything. Discipline can shape a man. It has never once saved one. In this video, we're going to cover 4 things every disciplined man needs to understand before he burns out chasing a version of strength that was never going to fill him. A king who did everything right on the outside and lost it all anyway. The prayer loop most Christian men repeat every single year without realizing why it never breaks. The one teaching Jesus gave his own disciples that has nothing to do with a checklist. And the one move, the last one, that most men completely miss, the one that actually changes how you live this out today, not someday. Ignoring this has already cost some of you more than you realize. You feel it at 2 a.m. Most men will never admit that out loud, but you already know it's true deep down. And that's exactly why you're still here right now. Power under control isn't built by trying harder. It's built by staying connected to the right source. Let's get started. Item 1. The king who looked connected. And here's why it changes everything you think you know about discipline. Saul was Israel's first king, tall, capable, decisive, the kind of man other men followed without question. He led armies. He made hard calls under pressure. By every outward measure, this was a disciplined leader. But discipline was never the problem. Connection was. Think about a general who wins every battle but ignores his own supply lines. He can outfight the enemy for a season. Eventually, his men run out of ammunition, out of food, out of orders from command. And the war is lost from the inside, not the outside. That's the same law that took Saul down. Told to wait 7 days before making an offering, he waited. Pressure built. His men started scattering. And instead of holding the line and trusting the command he'd been given, Saul made the call himself. Why? Because in that one moment, he trusted his own judgment more than the voice he was supposed to be connected to. Notice something. Saul didn't quit being king that day. He kept fighting, kept leading, kept looking every bit the part. Weak men quit visibly. Disconnected men keep performing right up until the collapse. That's the more dangerous failure, the one that doesn't announce itself. Fear God, not men. Saul feared the pressure of the moment more than he feared cutting himself off from his source of command. That's the whole tragedy in one decision. Item 2. The prayer that never gets answered. Here's a pattern almost every disciplined Christian man knows, and almost none of them names out loud. Every January, same prayer. God, take this away. Every December, same habit, still sitting there, untouched by another year of trying harder. Think about a man who works 60-hour weeks at a company but never once talks to the people who actually control his advancement. He can be the hardest worker on the floor. He'll still get passed over year after year because effort was never what determined the outcome. Access was. That's what a decade of trying harder against the same sin looks like. Effort without connection to the source of real change. Managing behavior and abiding in God are not the same discipline. One wears you out. The other feeds you. The vine principle. And this is the one that will bother you a little. Because it should. There's a passage most Christian men have heard 100 times and understood maybe once. The night before he goes to the cross, Jesus turns to his disciples and says this, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me, and I in him, bears much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Read that again, slowly. Now ask the question I had to ask myself the night everything I'd built nearly came apart. Where, in that entire picture, is there room for discipline? There isn't. Not one word about effort. Not one instruction about waking up earlier or trying harder. Just one command: stay attached. Why does that matter so much? Because every strong man in this space has been taught the opposite. Discipline first. Discipline is the whole game. That belief isn't evil. It's just aimed at the wrong target. Think about spiritual warfare, the way a soldier actually experiences it. A soldier can be the best trained man in the entire unit. Sharp reflexes, flawless technique, disciplined down to the way he ties his boots, cut his radio line to command, and none of that saves him. He's still moving with precision. He's still following procedure. He's completely alone on a battlefield he can no longer read correctly because the one thing that told him where the real danger was has gone silent. The same law applies to you. You can be disciplined down to the minute and still be fighting blind. Because discipline was never the thing that told you where the real battle was. That's the whole distinction this video exists to make. Discipline can position a man. It has never once transformed one. A branch doesn't discipline itself into staying on the vine. It doesn't grit its teeth and try harder to remain connected. It simply is attached, or it isn't. The moment it's cut off, no effort from that branch, no schedule, no structure, no willpower produces a single piece of fruit. It can be the straightest, most well-pruned branch on the entire vine. Sever it, and it's already dying. It just doesn't know it yet. Discipline can shape you. Only staying connected can feed you. You can prune a dead branch into a beautiful shape. Trim it, straighten it, make it look like it belongs. And it will still be dead. Fruit was never about the shape of the branch. Fruit is about what's flowing through it. Here's where most men, good men, strong men, quietly get this wrong. They turn faith into just another discipline. 15 minutes of Bible reading logged like a workout. A prayer said fast, out of obligation, the same way you'd knock out a chore before the next thing on your list. That's not abiding. That's managing your fruit instead of tending your root. Real abiding is slower than that, and it's less impressive than that. It's a man going quiet in the middle of a hard day and actually talking to God. Instead of gritting his teeth through it alone, it's bringing your anger to God the second it rises. Instead of white-knuckling it for 6 hours and detonating on the people who love you. It's not a technique. It's not a productivity hack wearing a cross. It's a real relationship with a real presence. The same spirit that filled those disciples in that room, still available to you right now. In whatever kitchen or truck you're standing in while you hear this. Bent knees before him will do more for you than 10 more years of gritted teeth ever will. That alone, what it actually cost those disciples to live that out once he was gone, is a conversation for another video. Hold on to that. Discipline manages behavior from the outside. Abiding changes a man from the root, and the fruit stops being something he has to force. You already met a king who missed this. Saul stayed disciplined right up to the collapse. What you haven't seen yet is the move that actually reverses it in a normal day, with bills and kids and a job in it, and it's not what you think it is. And the last one, the one most men completely miss, because they're too busy grinding to notice it was never about effort in the first place. The 60-second return. Here's what abiding actually looks like in a day that has a mortgage, kids, and a job in it, not a monastery. The moment you feel the spiral start, the panic over the account, the anger building at your son, the pull towards something you know you shouldn't look at, that's not the moment to grit your teeth and manage it. That's the moment to go straight to God before you do anything else. 10 honest seconds. God, I feel this rising. I'm not carrying this alone. The power was never in the length of the prayer. It's in the timing, going to Him first, not after you've already failed trying to fix it yourself. Think about a boy who scrapes his knee in his own backyard. He doesn't wait until he's cleaned himself up, composed himself, proven he handled it well, before he runs to his father. He runs the second it happens, crying, dirt still on his hands, and a good father doesn't ask him to earn that. He picks him up right there. That's the return. Not after a week of proving you're sorry. Immediately, the second you feel the fall happening. You will fall. Every man does. The question was never whether you'll fall. It's what you do in the 60 seconds after. Most men do one of two things. They hide or they punish themselves and call it discipline. Neither one is abiding. Name what happened without dressing it up. Then go straight back to Him. On my knees is not weakness. It's the only position a branch was ever meant to be in. Now watch this move run through every part of your life, because it was never meant to stay in the spiritual category. The panic that makes you check your account 15 times a day, that's a branch trying to feed itself. Bring the fear to God the moment it rises, before you touch a card. The explosion that comes out of nowhere on your kids over something small. That's a man running on his own strength, empty, snapping under pressure the exact way Saul did. Practice the return before you walk through that door, and what comes out of you changes. Strong fathers build strong families, and strong families are built by men who return fast, not men who never fall. Presence without connection in your marriage is just proximity. You can be in the room and still be a disconnected branch, producing nothing. And that question at 2 a.m. about whether your life has added up to enough, that was never going to be answered by more discipline. It gets answered by staying connected to the one who decides what your life is worth in the first place. Saul never came back from his disconnection. You still can, in the next 60 seconds, if you choose to. That's power under control. Not a man who never falls. A man who returns faster than the fall can define him. So go back to the question underneath everything you just heard. Where, in the picture of a vine and its branches, was there ever room for discipline to be the hero of the story? There wasn't. There never was. Discipline isn't your enemy. It has its place. It can shape you, prune you, position you toward the light. It was never going to save you. And if you've spent years waiting for enough of it to finally fix what's broken inside, that wait is over today. You were never the source. You were only ever meant to be the branch. And a branch doesn't need 50 more years of trying harder. It needs one honest return. Right now, wherever you're standing, that's the man this channel is built for. Not the man who never falls. The man who stays close enough to the vine that falling doesn't define him. By the way, if this built something in you, hit like and subscribe so the next one finds you when you need it. Until next time.